A very difficult start to the week as we talk about another mass shooting. This one right here in North Texas. 2 days after a gunman opened fire at the Allen Outlet Mall. That mall remains closed. Investigators still on the scene at this hour, letting the public back in to get their cars. We're finally getting some answers to some of the questions we have. Who are the victims? Who is the gunman? And where the investigation goes from here. Our Chris Sadeghi is live for us at the Outlet Mall this midday. Chris, good morning.
Yes, Megan, we are actually across from one of the entrances of the Outlet Mall. The mall is still shut down, no timetable on when it might reopen, but much of the activity this morning includes the buses dropping people off, people who were here shopping on Saturday when the shooting happened, dropping them off to be reunited with their vehicles, which they haven't had for the last couple days. Also, Governor Greg Abbott briefly commented on this shooting from afar. The process of reuniting people with their vehicles actually started last night but resumed again this morning at 10 o'clock. They were meeting at the city's senior recreation center, loading up on a bus that brought them over here. They then got an officer escort into the mall to their vehicle where they could drive off. This is video from our chopper of not only where people were boarding the buses, but also a family assistance center that opened there this morning to help support people who were impacted by this shooting. As for how the state might respond to this tragedy, Governor Greg Abbott attended one of the vigils here in Allen last night. This morning, he was back in Austin to discuss border security ahead of Title 42 expiring, but he was asked about the shooting here in Allen.
The people in Allen, but especially the families, they want to know right now why this happened, how it happened. I believe in the coming days, the public will be much better informed about why and how this happened, and that will inform us as Texas leaders about next steps to take to try to prevent crimes like this from taking place in the future.
And we're also learning more about the shooter. Texas DPS identified him as 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia. The video you see here is officers looking through the car that he drove to the mall. A search warrant reveals they found several handguns, long guns, and ammunition inside. Sources tell WFAA he served in the Army until 2008 when his service ended due to mental health issues. Those sources also say he has a history of extremist ideology that includes expressing a dislike of Jewish people and people of color. Now, we also know investigators were searching a hotel where Garcia was living. The hope is that they can find any materials, any evidence that shows more insight into his possible motivations and also possibly any planning of this attack. Megan, back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. The gunman killed 8 people and injured 7 others. And today we're learning more about the victims as the community takes the first steps towards healing with the start of school and another work week. Let's bring in our Suzanne Bruner with the latest on that, those victims, and how the community is coming together, Suzanne.
Yeah, Megan, a memorial for the victims is growing out here at the Allen Premium Outlet Mall today. Right behind me, there are 8 crosses now standing for those who were killed Saturday. We have seen groups of people come in with additional crosses as well as dogs, service dogs, to provide comfort to those who were affected by the shooting. Right now, we know the names of 2 individuals killed at the Outlet Mall. Their families identified them as 20-year-old Christian LaCour and Aishwarya Thatikonda. LaCour was a security guard at the mall and was working when the shooting happened. His family said he lived in Farmersville, just east of Allen. LaCour's mother shared on Facebook that she and the family are broken and will never be whole again. Aishwarya Thatikonda was out at the mall Saturday with a friend shopping for her 28th birthday. Her friend is stable at Medical City McKinney. A family representative we spoke with said Thatikonda was an engineer who lived in McKinney, and her friends describe her as a friendly and lovable person. And as people leave flowers here, just a few miles away, we were at Green Elementary School where staff, students, and their families gathered for a moment of silence.
Oh my gosh, I just got the chills. I had been thinking about it, and I said, it could have been us, it could have been a friend.
And just about an hour ago, a national group came to the memorial site with comfort dogs. The Lutheran Church charity spokesperson told us they're here to offer support. The Golden Retrievers were actually out at a vigil and prayer service last night, and the group plans to be out here in the city of Allen to provide services and comfort till this Thursday. We do have an update, and we do know that at this time there are 7 people who were injured in the shooting that are still at the hospital recovering. Megan?
All right, Suzanne, thank you for those updates. Appreciated. And, you know, following the tragedy in Allen, Texas Democrats are demanding immediate action to address gun violence. State Senator Roland Gutierrez gathered members of the Senate Democratic Caucus and families of victims of the Uvalde massacre in Austin this morning. Together, they called for sensible gun laws, saying we can't let something like Allen or Uvalde happen again.
Every time we have one of these shootings, it's a mental health issue. And I think that we're putting more and more monies and resources into mental health. But it's time for my Republican brothers and sisters to come up with some solutions as it relates to these guns.
Governor Greg Abbott appeared on the Sunday talk shows, and when asked about gun control, he doubled down. Abbott said loose gun laws are not the problem. Instead, we need to focus on mental health. Abbott's team declined an interview with WFAA. May 24th will mark 1 year since a gunman killed 19 children and two teachers in Uvalde. Nearly every day since, the grieving families have pleaded for gun laws in Texas to change. But currently, a bill to enhance background checks, another to expand safe storage requirements of guns, a proposal that would raise the age to purchase an AR-15 from 18 to 21, and a bill banning red flag laws are all stalled. None of those have made it out of a House committee, and a vote on them appears unlikely. A few that increase penalties for felons found in possession of guns are making their way through the legislature right now. And President Joe Biden disagrees. He's calling for a ban on assault-style weapons. He also wants universal background checks. The president has ordered flags to fly at half-staff all across the country in honor of the victims from Allen through Friday. And we have seen just an outpouring of support in the community, with churches and the mosque opening their doors to everyone. I mean, this was the scene at Cottonwood Baptist Church last night for a vigil. Regular folks, Allen City leaders, even Governor Greg Abbott were on hand for this. And the mosque in Allen also held a very special prayer service last night. Faith leaders called this a chance to remember the victims and for families left behind to grieve. Of course, anytime we have to talk about a tragedy like this, it's hard, but right now, in our own community, it just gets so much harder. And that's why getting some help for our mental health is crucial. We talked to the CEO of LifePath about it. It's a group that offers free counseling to anyone in Collin County. And we asked, what's the best advice for anyone that is sitting at home thinking, maybe I just need someone to talk to?
They don't wait. Do it as soon as you think you just need somebody to talk to. It could be for one time, for 30 minutes. It could be for several sessions. But don't wait. Don't wait until it's so overwhelming you're not able to handle it on yourself. The sooner somebody reaches out and starts to talk to another person, the better the outcome for everybody. I think there's going to be a lot of people that probably should take this up. I hope they do. And if we're overwhelmed at first, like I said, we're going to work with all of our partner resources and bring in additional assistance so we can meet the need. Unfortunately, an event like this definitely brings out a lot of need in the community for the people that were there and maybe witnessed it, but also just the rest of the community. I live in Allen, and I think we're all deeply affected by this. The first services are really just crisis services with a licensed professional trying to help them process the traumatic event or the anxiety that's come up, or grief, whatever's happened, to help them continue to work through that so that they can continue to recover and move on eventually.
Some great advice. So if you are in need of counseling, LifePath Systems is offering services to Collin County residents right now at no cost. You can access them 24/7. You can find more information on WFAA.com. And we're staying on top of this story around the clock. I mean, we're going to bring you every single new update on air, on WFAA.com, and on our WFAA mobile app as well. And of course,